This video was made possible with the help of Game Toppers. Upgrade your gaming experience with a Game Topper.
Hello chaps and chapettes, and welcome to this kind of before you buy video for the board game Wolfwalkers, the board game, which is a board game where you are wolfwalkers. I'm going to repeat myself a bit more in this video. But no, in this video, I'm going to go through some of the rules of the game to kind of give you a taster and give you some of my opinions. And hopefully this video will help point you in the direction whether this is something that should be sat on your shelf. Just as a word of advice, this game was given to me by the publishers Value Add Games. So I didn't purchase this myself, and I'm doing this of my own volition, on my own time. I'm not being paid to do this. I just have this, and I thought I'd talk about it. In this game, this is a family, children-style game where you are cooperatively as a family going into the nearby forest to find the spirits of the wolves and bring them back to your den. And sometimes you're going into the city, but sometimes the guards from the city will come and try and find your den, and you'll win this game by finding the wolf spirit, and you'll lose the game by the guards finding your den. And you can probably tell by the art that this game is based on the Apple TV film called Wolfwalkers as well, which I know nothing about because I haven't seen. I'll stop babbling. Let's get this game to the table and show you what it looks like. Now the basic setup will vary a little bit depending on the level. There are 4 different levels of difficulty for the game. There's the very easy, and then there's the very hard, and they all are practically the same game. The only difference is the very easy, you cooperatively are trying to collect a wolf soul together, so it's like a joint thing. Also, the runes that you collect are a joint resource that you can spend. Whereas the more higher the level goes, these resources are your own, and you are collecting your own wolf soul instead of cooperatively. And again, you can actually make it not cooperative and a competition to see who can collect a wolf soul on their own. Again, this will add more tiles to the board. So the lower level, there is less tiles, so there's less convolution in the searching. Whereas in the 4th and harder level, there are more tiles with more powers, so you can like exchange tiles with other players. And also there are there are more guards as well. So this is the basic layout. You have your den over here, and you'll choose your character. Basically, all the characters are the same. And over here in the city, you'll have 2 guards posted, and you don't want these guards to arrive at your den. And if you look at the board, you'll see these paths, and you'll see these runes, and you'll see these spaces with different icons on them. And as you go up the board and further away from the den, these spaces are a little bit harder and have less routes going into the tile section, so less paths connecting to these tiles, and this is how you search the tiles. So the game is kind of a roll and move, because there is a dice. You on your turn will roll the dice and do the action which it says on it. Simple as that. But there is a little difference in this game which is a little appealing to some to the young players, and again to the adults. 4 of the 6 sides have icons on them, and these icons refer to the spaces on the board. So if you roll the dice and you get the eagle symbol, you will have to move your playing piece to the nearest eagle. Right off the bat from the den, you can either go to a space which is really adjacent, like this eagle here, and along the way you'll collect a rune. A player can only hold a maximum of 7 runes during the course of the game. Or if you chose not to go to that eagle, you could go to this eagle up here, because as you see, you pass this rune, it gives you 1 rune, there are no eagles there, and then you pass a second rune and get to the eagle there, which means that you'll collect 2 runes. Now, as you can see from this eagle space, there are 2 paths going up and down the board. And this means that you can look at both of these tiles. So you reveal them and you will activate them. If a tile has a rune value, so like here we have 2 runes will pay for this tile, you can, at the end of your turn, spend 2 runes to buy that tile. Otherwise, it will just sit there. Now, if you reveal a tile and it's a guard, you will have to move one of the 2 guards, and you will have to move them in the direction as depicted on the tile. In this case, I have a blue arrow. On the board itself and on the edges, you'll see that there are 4 different colored arrows. So this gives you an indication of which direction the guard will move. This guard here cannot move to the blue direction due to the fact that there's a guard already on that rune space. So it will have to be this guard which moves there. Guards basically block spaces. So for example, let's say that this guard was here on this rune, which means that this player cannot go to another eagle sign because they're blocked by this guard, and they will have to go another way. If at any time you have to move a guard and they move onto one of the 4 bottom rooms, that's it. You, as players, lose the game. Another little nice trick about the game is if another player is on a, say example, a cerf or deer space, that space is kind of like preoccupied. So if you roll the dice and you roll the deer or the cerf, and you have to go to the next one, you can actually skip over this player's piece to get to the one further away, which will give you a good opportunity to get across the board very, very quickly, and also to collect more runes. Now, as I said earlier, the further up the board and more into the city you go, the harder it is, because the guards are there at the beginning of the game, to reveal the tiles, and the city tiles are a bit more powerful. There is a guard tile which will allow you to move a guard any direction that you want, either up, down, left or right. Now there are 2 other results that you can have from your dice. Both of them are relatively similar in the fact that if you roll it, you can decide to re-roll instead. This little star one means that you can buy any tile that is revealed on the board from anywhere. So you don't have to be on a space with a path that connects to the tile. You can buy it from anywhere. So if there is a tile revealed in the city and it's a value 3 guard move anywhere, very useful to have. And finally, the last result is the eye in the box, which basically means that you can reveal any top tile from any pile on the board. So you don't need to even be next to it. Again, useful for revealing those powerful tiles in the city. So the game will continue in this fashion until either the guards have arrived at your hideout or you have found the 3 pieces which make up the wolf spirit. And to make things a little bit more interesting, there are 3 different coloured wolf spirits. And that's roughly how you play Wolfwalkers, the board game. So first impressions, as I said, this is a kind of before you buy. This is just to give you my advice, the things that I've picked up on about the game. Start off with number 1, the components and everything. The box art is lovely due to the fact that it's all taken from an animated film, which is a bonus. If you know the film, you will probably be drawn to this game. If you don't know the film, you probably won't, due to the fact that even in the rulebook, there's no explanation about even the basis of the story. It's just you're going to find the wolf spirits in the forest. Oh, I've just seen on the back of the box there's a bit about the film, but nothing in the rules. Although the rulebook does a good job of explaining the rules in an unusual fashion, it uses the boxes and arrows and fleshes, and so it kind of like reads like a comic book, but it's not a comic book at all. It's text and images, but everything is there that will make you understand the rules. The components are basic, you know, standees, cardboard tokens, dice, but they're all good quality. Nice thickness to the tiles, and I can't see them eroding that quickly with kids' hands unless it's played like every day for a year, and then it probably might start peeling. But that's playing at maximum capacity. The artwork for the board is lovely, although some of it is a bit lost and a bit hard to see, and you have to really kind of like lean over the table to see if the path is going to a tile, a pile or not. But apart from that, the iconography is simple. For defining which tiles are used in which version of the game is easy to find as well. It works. Now let's talk about the gameplay. I've played this several times with my 5-year-old, who has picked up the rules pretty easily. Obviously, as a parent, I am there to guide them, so they kind of, you know, can't go too wrong, but they know what they do on their turn, and it gets to a point where you don't have to explain. They roll the dice and they do the action. Again, a little confusion over the two symbols of the reveal any tile anywhere and buy any tile anywhere, but after a while it does become quite evident. Now there's fun to be had. Yeah, this is roll and move, but you are deciding which is the best and profitable way to go about your route to get to the next icon which you're told to go to, which is nice. It's a nice kind of like puzzle solving. My son picked it up pretty quickly and was happy picking up runes until he got to 7 and he couldn't pick up any more, and he was like, well, what do I do now? But eventually he got over that, and it was like, okay, I'm going to buy this tile, I'm going to buy this wolf. And it was, even though we were playing competitively, he wanted to buy the wolf and have everything in front of him, which is fine. It's a family game. It's for children. Basically, this game is for children and to be played as a family. And it works in that fashion. Yeah, fashion. Yeah. Yes, there is the luck of the dice, but I feel it's mitigated by the icons on it. So like the re-roll for either revealing or buying tiles, which is a good idea, I think, instead of it just being you have to reveal the top tile. Great idea. And then there's the randomness of the tiles. When you turn over a tile and it's, oh, the guards moved down towards your den. And then the next one is, oh, the guards are moving down. That can be quite frustrating, but the thing is, there are ways of mitigating this. As I said, the tiles up in the city, which allow you to send a guard back up the board at the cost of 3 runes. Always useful. The game does lend itself to some negotiation and some tactical discussion at the table between parent and child, or if there were more playing, then parents and child, or child and, yeah, but you get the image. But it does lead to possibly a bit of, what was it, alpha gamer? Yeah, you can have that, but it's nice to just let your kids experiment and do what they want. And we never lost, so the game seems to be balanced more to winning than losing, which is good. But as a gamer, you're not going to have fun. That's where my big negative comes from this game. The big negative is this is a children's game. And as a gamer, you can't really play this with your gaming buddies. It's kind of like weak, washy soup. But playing it with kids, another kettle of fish. This is perfect for them. This is perfect that I could teach my mother and then she could play it with my little ones happily, and I could walk away and do something else, which is really what you want. And there's enough good game here to justify purchasing it. It is a board game that I believe every family with young kids should invest in, even if you don't know nothing about the film. There's enough little kind of technical ideas here. It's not a case of roll and move 3 spaces, turn over this tile, you know, community chance, whatever. Oh, you won 500. It's none of that. Although it is at its crux, it is that, but it's been twisted slightly, and it works. There's some nice ideas. This game is not going to be for everyone, but as I said, it is for young families. There's enough variety in the tiles as well, the different powers. So there's like one which lets you have another turn. There's another one which lets you swap tiles. So yeah, there's enough there for you to keep playing it a few times. But after a while, if you're a gamer like myself, you will get bored and just want to walk away and let your children play on their own, which is great in its own way. But yeah, I'm selfish. I'm selfish that way. I want to play and have fun. So there you go, there's some first impressions about Wolfwalkers, the board game. Yeah, it's a good family game for kids. If you're a gamer, then you might be more interested in this, the Wolfwalkers My Story, which is a card game for 2 players, and I've played it once and it's really good. Do you want a video on this? I'll have to do one eventually, but that's going to be another story. So there you go, there's my first impressions before you buy video, before you pick up this game. Hopefully it's pointed you in the direction whether this is a game for you or not. And if you've enjoyed this video, just give it a like. If you know someone that might appreciate this video as advice for this game, then share it with them. And until next time, I say ciao for now. Remember to please play nicely with each other.
Just sitting at the table next to Felicia would be quite nice. Wouldn't it be good? I got some board games, I don't know how many. Just like they do.